everybody. Have you seen a ghost? Have you ever taken a picture that had orbs in it? We're going to talk about orbs. Are ghosts? Are orbs ghosts? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Hi, I'm really good. Yeah, of course, it's even better that I'm here with you tonight and everybody that's joining. So thank you. I just saw that my little thing popped up, and it says mediumship chat, and mini reading. So I just want to clarify that we're talking about orbs and ghosts. And do we think that orbs are ghosts or vice versa? So thank you everybody for joining us. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, Mandy. Mandy's seen some weird anomalies in her life. She's got some paranormal stuff going on. Hello, everyone. Say hi when you drop in. Hello, Vivian. Let us know if you've ever seen a ghost. Have you ever seen an orb? Do you take pictures and there's orbs in the pictures? That's the one we get all the time, right? I get people sending me their orb pictures all the time to ask me about it. I'm like, well, hi, Carol.
Right.
Sometimes it's just dust.
Or maybe it's a bug.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe it's, before I started diving in and really developing my mediumship, when you would take a picture with your cell phone and you would get that green dot, I would think those were orbs.
Mm-hmm.
But what is that? Lens flare, something like that?
Yep. Yep. They're from the lenses. Hello, Holly. Mandy said, what's the difference between an orb and a ghost? Well, look at that. Perfect timing, Mandy. That's what we're talking about tonight. It's like you're psychic. So the difference is a ghost, in my opinion, some people have different opinions of what a ghost is. Lots of people. I believe a ghost is any spirit or soul you see that's just kind of moving through your area. I don't believe ghosts are stuck. I believe they can manifest anytime they want. If you can see them, that's great. I've seen them a couple of times, one really major time, probably 20 years ago, before I was a medium and walking through my kitchen. It was so distinct. I thought it was my husband, and I walked around the side to scare him, and he was across the house in another room. So, so an orb is a circle. And I know Kathy has a story about an orb that she knows. Kathy, what, if you want to share, you don't have to, if you don't share, tell us about your orb.
Sure. Well, just to go back a little bit. So when you were talking about a ghost, so ghost is like an apparition or like a silhouette of a person or a pet, right? Where an orb would be just like a round blob, maybe, moving. But I do have a story about an orb. So we have cameras inside of our house. So every day when I would wake up, I'd look at the cameras to see if there's any, activity inside, outside. And one morning I looked at the camera and nobody was in our living room. It was completely pitch dark. Nothing was on. There was no air conditioning, no fans, no heat. And out from like the floor area or the couch area, and the camera's way up high. All of a sudden, you just see this big round ball move all the way up right to the camera and disappear. Now, there was no other little particles. It was just one big round ball and went right to the camera. And this just happened to be shortly after an animal of our family's passed away. So, and who always sat on this on the couch right where this orb originated from and went right to the camera. And if you slow down the trajectory, it was a purposeful, distinct movement from the couch out of nowhere straight to the camera. So purposely saying like, hello, I'm here. So I believe 100% that was an orb. Because there was no, dust particles. You see all the other little.
And they move a little
Yes.
like dust.
Yeah, like circular and all over. This was a deliberate single large ball that went straight to the camera. So yes, does anybody else have stories like that? Of course, we can capture orbs on video camera. We can capture them on regular camera. I don't know if has anybody actually seen them with their physical eyes. Have you seen an orb?
Thank you, Abby. Hi Keith and hi Rhonda. Hello everyone. All of the manifestations of spirit that I've seen have had a shape other than an orb. I do take a lot of pictures of the sky, so I'm sure if I looked through my millions of pictures, I would find some orbs in there that aren't the green lens.
Right, the lens.
Hi, Miss Molly. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Lori. Hi, Louise. Hello, everyone. Let us know if you've had any orb experiences or ghost experiences. Sometimes they're just dust, and sometimes they do. Like I saw the video Kathy was talking about, and it is a very purposeful movement. Dust isn't likely in a still room to go from the bottom to the top. Dust is going to probably go from the top to the bottom in some way. Hi, Michelle. So
I just saw that my Lexi Boo says, "Oh yes, I have so many on my Ring camera since my daughter passed." I don't know. Are we able to bring people up to talk about, or do you want to talk about it in the chat, or just kind of tell us your experience?
I can send them the link. I can post it in the chat, I guess. But last time I tried that, nobody wanted to come on camera. So if somebody wants to, if my Lexi Boo, if you want to come on camera, I can send you the link. If not, we can talk about it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
We're happy to bring you up on screen. Let us know. Denise said, I haven't seen one with the naked eye, but my dog was staring at something I couldn't see and following it. I recorded his odd behavior, and there was a light orb that he was fixated on and following. She said, no bueno. So she's I know, Kathy, you've had dogs forever. And do you have experiences like that where your dogs see things that normal humans that aren't mediums can't see?
Of course, I believe 100%. And I've also seen what I think are my dogs out of the corner of my eye, that shadow, that ghost, which to me, a ghost is really just our loved one's residual energy, right? Just showing us that they're still connected and around us. So sometimes they'll appear in that apparition or that shape, that human figure or that animal figure. That's what I believe a ghost is.
I do too. I agree with that completely. I have a friend who's a ghost hunter, and she has had all kinds of different experiences, and we've discussed many times negative entities and positive entities. And I myself, maybe through my naivete, I have never experienced a negative entity ever. I'm glad you agree with that.
Yeah.
Other people have said to me that they have, and I'm like, but I haven't, so I don't have any way to compare my experience. So I don't I don't know if I'm just blocking out any negativity in the spirit world.
I
I have,
did. I dragged my husband to. We did a ghost hunting tour one night. From like 9 o'clock at night all the way till like 5 in the morning, and we went to old ghost town in Nevada, and we stayed at a bar
that's where
where.
she's from, actually. That lady I was talking about, she's from
Oh,
Carson City.
yeah, the capital.
Yeah.
But we stayed at this bar where supposedly this murder happened and all of this, and there's supposed to be like the lady, the owner, haunting the place, and then right down the road was the cemetery, and we did this, and then across the street was like this abandoned building, and we toured all of these places, and we had all the equipment, the infrared cameras, the EMF meters, the thermal cameras, the spirit boxes, everything. And I was so hopeful.
And
But nothing.
that's funny. But you were prepared. You were prepared.
I was prepared. Yeah. And yeah. But nothing.
Let's see. Jane said we had a bell for my mother to ring when she needed us. After she passed the next day, the bell rang.
Ooh.
I hear those stories. I'm sure you do too, Kathy, in our mediumship readings. I hear that kind of stuff all the time. So I could tell 1,000 stories about those types of things. Hello, Brenda. Hi, Diana. We're talking about orbs. Are orbs ghosts? Are they spirits, or are they lens anomalies? Molly said, Miss Molly, we could have used you the other night. Someone was missing their Star of David. And she may have emailed.
I think Lori's on here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think she's on here. Miss Molly said, I have a crazy video. I got what looked like fairies. Oh my gosh, please send it to us to see that. And for anybody who doesn't know, Miss Molly is the finder of lost items, and she has so many people who have written testimonials and made testimonial videos. She remote views and helps people find lost items, and she is wonderful and the kindest heart. Abby said, my dog's seen non-humans all the time. Not surprising. Keith, the smooth healer, said energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Yes, that's 100% true. For those who don't know, I'm a scientist, and yes, that is one of the laws of physics. You can only transform energy, and our souls are made of energy. And so when our body no longer has any energy, our soul has to go somewhere. Dawn said, hi. Lexi Boo said, the orbs I see are coming from the door, then like elegantly float in a forward motion to the next room. Sometimes I say, oh, Lexi is here and she brought a friend, because sometimes there will be two. Yes. I love that. Go ahead.
No, I just said I love that, especially because you recognize that it's her energy, and that's what is amazing about knowing the difference and being able to tell the difference. Because I have on video where I thought, oh gosh, this has got to be my loved one, but it's all sorts of little orbs, all like kind of just floating right in front of me, and then I'm like, or if you hold up a flashlight and you can kind of just see it all right in front of you, those are orbs. But if you see a deliberate one or two that know where they're going or what they're doing, right? Just like the one that I saw went exactly from where they always used to sleep or stay right to the camera, knowing that camera was right there. No one in the room, nothing. You just know.
Right. Especially if everybody's asleep, like you said, it was nighttime, no fans, no air conditioner. Yeah, that's definitely.
And from where the floor to the camera, that'd be a really long spider web or bug, like in less than a second,
Yeah, it's a very cool video. Hi, Mel. Dawn said my aunt says her sister used to come to her as an orb. Not surprising because I believe, and I think Kathy probably agrees with this, our souls are literally the shape of an orb. They're not a human shape.
Energy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. They're an orb shape. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Vivian said, everyone don't forget to comment, like, and
Oh,
subscribe. CLS.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. Rhonda said, I've never encountered an evil spirit either.
Mm-hmm.
I have been a paranormal investigator for many years. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Lori said, how do you feel about witch doctors? Do you believe they are good, evil,
Ooh.
or evil? Good or evil? This is a great time to talk about red flags. Thank you, Lori. I don't really know anything about witch doctors. Kathy, do you have any information?
Not on witch doctors specifically, but anybody that would be working in spirit with not good intentions or working with spirit with the wrong intentions, to me is not ethical and would be a red flag. So if somebody's trying to cast a spell or put harm towards somebody or working in a negative way with spirit, I don't believe in that. And I would say that would be a red flag. If that's what witch doctors, if that's what we're talking about, anybody that has bad intentions working with spirit, because spirit has no bad intention.
I agree 100%. Lori, if you can give us like a definition, that might help us because neither of us know what that is fully. I mean, I've seen stuff in shows and movies, but that could be, fake. Gina, this is a great point. Thanks, YouTube. I didn't get a notification. Yeah, that does not surprise me. YouTube's been on its stuff lately. So if you go to any of either of our YouTube pages, and there's a little bell underneath all of our videos, and you click the bell and you can choose what types of notifications that you want. For going live, for any video, any of that, you can click that bell. And it helps you and it helps us because then you get a notification that we've got new videos, we're going live and all that stuff. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, YouTube, I was actually just talking to Kathy before we started that things have been weird over here. Hi, Amy. And then Mandy said, are alien orbs you see in the night sky the same as spirit orbs? What do you think?
This is a great question for you, Nicole.
It depends on, okay, let me tell a story. Have you heard the story before, Kathy, about my orb in the sky years and years ago?
Probably.
Okay. In 1995, I remember because it was the year I met my husband.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
Yeah, my husband was driving. We weren't married yet. Deep in the darkest part of Missouri. Mandy will know, by Asarco, between Ironton and Annapolis, Missouri. And it was 10 o'clock at night. And I knew the area well because I had been through there many, many times. And so there was this little valley and a hill behind the valley. And there was a giant, probably 50 feet across orb floating above the valley there. And it was just hovering. And as soon as I turned my head and caught it in my eye line, as soon as I did it, it flew off immediately, off into the sky. And I said to my boyfriend, husband now, Doug, did you see that? He's like, no. And then not long after that is when I was in Daytona and had my alien abduction dream. So those things happened within a couple months of each other. So Are the orbs that are floating in the fields of Missouri aliens? Are they energy? Are they spirits? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, they could be government spacecraft that are experimental. I think a lot of the stuff we see that we think are alien spacecraft are government spacecraft. I don't think an alien race would want to send, thousands of spacecraft here a year. It doesn't make sense. They, they don't need to do that. They could send one orbiting satellite and know everything they wanted to know, and we would never know it was there. So I don't know if it's alien or spirit. I don't think anybody who claims to know, which is another red flag moment. Anyone who claims to know what any of these things are unequivocally, that's a red flag. Nobody knows for sure.
And it's interesting, the more I do this work, I feel like the less I know. It's interesting because I can never be 100% sure about anything. And, I believed, going through development, all my teachers, and I believed in those theories and all those things. But the more I do this work, the more things are uncertain and you can't be so sure. I'm only going to go by now my experience in my sessions. There's no black and white, right?
It's all gray.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give, based on exactly what you just said, I want to quote the great astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson in a quote that I love. I had to write it down so I remember it. He said, as the area of our knowledge increases, so too does the perimeter of our ignorance. Exactly what you just said. The more we know, the less we know.
Yeah.
So great question, Mandy. Keep coming with the questions, everybody. That's why we're here. Let's see. Gina said, I've seen orbs of different colors, etc. I can't say if they were spirit because they disappeared as quickly as they appeared. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the thing, right? We don't 100% know anything for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When we do our mediumship readings, the only way we know and our clients know, many of you have gotten readings from us who are here watching, is by the verifiable evidence of things there's no way we would know. For instance, one day I was giving a reading to a woman, and her loved one in spirit showed me that she was planting a butterfly garden. And I said to the client, she said she sees you planting the butterfly garden. And she immediately, got teary-eyed and was like, I've been planting a butterfly garden for her every year for so many years, and I just finished it today, or something to that effect. And so those may seem like random things, but it's specific to that person. And those are pieces of evidence we get as mediums that allow our clients to know we are in communication with their loved one in spirit, and their energy never goes away. Mm-hmm. It still exists, and we can still communicate with it.
Yep.
Lori said, I agree with that exactly, but I think it was a few minutes ago when she said that. So
I think that was referring to the witch, whatever.
Oh, the witch doctor?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Amy said, I've been feeling heavy and tired. Anything for me? The full moon is Monday.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I'm like, join the club.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I've taken a nap every day this week.
Yeah. And now that energy, and you notice with all the earthquakes and fires, right? The Earth's energy is angry, right?
It's saying, F you humans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get it together down there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's see. Lori said a coworker saw one and told my manager a bunch of BS, and I told her not to believe anything she said.
Mhm.
Oh, the witch doctor.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you. Yeah. And red flag, right? Spirit doesn't work in, for me, spirit does not work in fear based anything, right?
Anything.
Spirit for me works in love, works in light, works in comfort, works in healing. So anything beyond that, I am not a part of. I have never experienced. And if you're not working in this realm with the right intentions, um, yeah, red flag, red flag.
Yes. And sometimes our readings can bring through sad things, but
Mm-hmm.
it's our job as mediums to convey them in a peaceful way that helps you heal and doesn't make you feel worse. Like you shouldn't tell somebody your dad in spirit hated you and still hates you. Like, like that's not
Yeah,
that's not accurate. Nobody in spirit hates anybody because
right.
there's no ego there. There's only love there. Um, so that's another red flag moment. So when you get a reading, even if some of the memories and evidence can be heavy, is if it's accurate, that's a check, yes. And if the medium makes you feel comforted and gives you a message of hope, healing, peace, and love, and doesn't leave you feeling worse at the end than at the beginning, you want to feel better after a reading, because sometimes people who have harmed you in life want to come through with an apology. Because, and Kathy, let me know if you agree with this, we plan our life to a certain degree. And we sometimes, maybe I'm the good guy in this life, and the person who harmed me is the bad guy. But maybe in another life, I was the bad guy and that person was the good guy. And so we come through and reincarnate repeatedly to learn lessons and grow our soul. And so when they bring through evidence that may be sad or talk about trauma or something, it's not to make you feel worse, it's to help you heal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I believe that. Yeah. I think what everything we bring through in mediumship reading should be to help you heal and to help you grow and to help you on your journey. 100%.
Let's see. Um, Gina says I always click the bell when I subscribe. Girl, I know.
Oh,
I've been unsubscribed from so many creators across all platforms. Like they just remove subscribers from people. I've had to resubscribe to so many people. And one day I was subscribed to Turning Point USA. So check.
ew.
Mm.
Ew.
I
No.
blocked them about 10 times and I was subscribed.
You know what? You can believe what you want to believe, just don't force it on anybody, right?
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing. These big
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
organizations buy subscribers
Yeah.
to force things on you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Wendy. Let's see. Denise said, now you have to tell the dream story. Hi, Denise.
Oh, yeah.
It's short. So I was in Daytona with my husband after the Orb, and we were in some Daytona Beach hotel. We were like 24 years old, so we didn't care. And I was asleep. He was asleep. And I had a dream that the three-fingered gray, more than one, I think there were three of them actually, picked me up from my lower leg. My legs were like this in the dream. They picked me up and I could feel their pointy fingers and the thumb on the bottom. I levitated and carried me into the bathroom, and that's all I remember. I don't know anything else, but I do remember I was trying to scream and wake up my husband, and he was not moving. I couldn't really move my head. No sound was coming out. So that's my dream. And then I've never forgotten.
Yeah. There's a very cool intriguing episode of Unsolved Mysteries about alien abduction in this small town. So I recommend watching that. It's intriguing. People were actually abducted. They share their stories. They saw this giant ball of light. Everything stood still, like time stood still. Yeah, you have to. It's Unsolved Mysteries. I think it's that you can see it on Netflix or Hulu or something.
Okay.
But look for the alien abduction. It's fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, those shows are fascinating, and I watched Disclosure Day this week.
Oh yes, yeah.
Y'all need to see it. It is so good. And the aliens in that, spoiler alert, it's about aliens, are exactly the which I was looking for when I watched it. Do they have the three fingers?
Like in
Because
your dream.
in 1995, there was no internet. If there was, I didn't have it. And so I didn't know people reported them like that. It was just the dream I had at the time. Like 95, I didn't know about the three fingers. Um, but there's a lot of good information. Just be careful. Red flag alert. Just be careful and discerning, and don't fall into too many rabbit holes when you read or watch about aliens, because again, it could all be the government. It could all be disinformation. It could be them abducting people. Now we know a lot of secret stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Breeding programs. So it could all be tied in. So just be careful and be discerning. That's what I'm going to say about it. And so we don't get into too big of a
Rabbit hole.
Yeah. Let's see. Donette. Hi, Donette. Gina said, I've seen an orb in the sky that was moving very fast. Now, some of those orbs are Starlink satellites. When they launch them, you'll see them. Actually, Mandy, who's on here, sent me a video one night. I'm like, I see them launch them in front of my house all the time, and then they're in the row for a couple of days, and then they break apart. So be careful that they're not Starlinks. What are gold orbs? It was so bright. Do you know what all the different orbs colors are?
I do not. And here's what I'll say about that. Just like when people say, I saw 1111, what does that mean? Or I saw a butterfly, what does that mean? What does it mean to you? Right? What does that mean to you? What does that number mean to you? What were you thinking about? What were you feeling? What were you doing at that very moment? When you saw that, after that orb, what did you immediately think about? I think all of those spiritual things, right? Signs, synchronicities, they're personalized. I don't think that you go to a book and say, what does this mean? Because everything means something different to each of us, because we're each living our own experience and we're having our own human experience. So when I would answer that question again, just what were you thinking about? How did it make you feel? What did it mean to you?
I agree with that. It's like a dream interpretation book, which I've, in the past flipped through and Barnes and Noble or whatever. But I find it hard to believe that anything like a dream or a color of an orb or 1111 means exactly the same thing to everybody.
You can have right? Yeah, you can have a generalized meaning, right? And I could say, okay, if I look in this book, this is what it means. However, if you really want a personal, what does it mean to you? Like, I know 1111, what 1111 means to me. I started seeing it the moment I started my development, and I started seeing it every single day. So I knew that I still see it. I'm on my right path. Now, it could mean something totally different to somebody else. So I won't ever tell you this is exactly what something means. If I get a sign, like if I'm in a mediumship reading and your loved one in spirit gives me that as a sign for you, then that's a sign for you from your loved one. But I'm not going to tell you what this means, because I really do think it's all personal and individual.
I agree with that. And it's the way some of my students are on here, and the way I teach my mediumship is I'm not going to tell you a balloon means the birthday every time. I'm not going to tell you if you see a rainbow in a reading, it means it's going to not flood or whatever, right? I don't make my students learn this means this
Yeah.
and that's it. I am not a rigid teacher as teaching in college, high school, or mediumship, right? It's like everything has a little malleability.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is set in stone.
Right? And things change and things evolve. I mean, that's just how
Yes. Right. And especially in mediumship, like
mm-hmm.
I was talking to one of my students earlier in the week, and I said, she used to be a nurse. And I said, your first year of nursing was different than your 5th year and your 10th year. And that's how your mediumship will be. My first year of mediumship is very different than this year of mediumship. I'm sure
Yeah.
The more readings you do, the more you develop your own style, the more you develop your own symbols. If you develop them, some people don't have symbols at all. Some people have a million symbols. The more you develop how you communicate your clairs, all of it, the connection, is your connection instant, or do you have to meditate for 20 minutes? Like everything has leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of comments I'm behind on. Dan Wilkins talking about the Foo Fighters in 1940 to 45, hence the band, the Foo Fighters.
Oh, yeah.
For them. Thank you for that comment. Amy said, I seem to only see this when I need to. Thank you. You are welcome. Our pleasure. Hi, Wisdom Seeker. Hello. Was that you who gave the super chat? I appreciate that, sweetheart. Happy full moon, Amy. Wisdom Seeker. So wonderful to see you both.
Thank you.
Angry to say the least.
I think she was talking about the earth, the energy.
Oh,
the energy. Yeah. And the full moon and things that are happening, the 4 earthquakes, like right there, and then the fires.
That's crazy. That was crazy.
So I'll just tell a quick story. My friend has a cabin up in Utah in Beaver, where the fires are. And she texted me and said, we made it out. She said, all of a sudden, we're just sitting there. We're like, gosh, it smells like smoke. And all of a sudden, firefighters pound on the door. This was Tuesday. And they evacuated us right away. So I don't know if their cabin, but I'm just glad that they did those evacuations right away. At that time, she said it was like 4,000 acres. Now it's over 70.
Yeah. These fires.
Mm-hmm. Devastating.
It's devastating. It's really, I don't even want to go on a climate change tirade. Yeah. I don't even want to
go. So many things we could talk about.
Yeah. I mean, 1,000 directions. Dawn said, I've seen a few bright orbs and they are always while I'm driving. Ooh. Interesting. Do you see them during the day? Let's see. Amy said, does a picture help? Truly, I lost my mom in 23. I yearn to feel from her. She went through so much alone. So, as Kathy always reminds me that we can be our own medium. So you can take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and ask your mom to bring her energy close to you and just listen and practice that once a day, twice a day, when you're not distracted, when nobody, you don't have kids bugging you to take them here or there or cook dinner or do the dishes or do the laundry or whatever, somebody knocking on the door trying to bother you. Do it maybe in the shower when nobody's bothering you, or maybe when you lay down to go to bed, and just take some deep breaths and ask her to bring her energy and learn to listen. And you'll start to subtly hear things or see things or dream about her, and just practice that, and you'll feel her close to you.
I would say too, ask her for a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask her for a sign. And if you want to get specific, get specific. But then if you do get specific, be open to the different ways that she can show you. So if you say, show me a unicorn, Or show me a unicorn on TV at 3 o'clock.
Right.
Okay.
That's a bit much.
How about just show me a unicorn in the next day or two, and then just be open in all the different ways a unicorn can appear. But I would definitely, like Nicole said, breathe, take time for yourself, create a nice space for yourself, and then ask for signs.
Yes. And look, I have a chubby unicorn right here.
Yeah, see?
So there's a sign. Something's telling me to talk about cardinals, especially ever since I saw disclosure.
I know, yeah.
Stressing over these freaking cardinals.
Mhm.
It's crazy. Okay. Thank you, Dan, talking about the orbs in the bombers,
Mhm.
term Foo Fighters to describe them. Yes, yes, yes. I'm glad you saw Disclosure Day, Vivian. I think that is wonderful. Let's see. Mandy said, and she's in Missouri, the government stages alien abductions all the time to keep people scared and under their thumb. At this point, I think anything is possible with what's going on in the government and the things we learn about the deepest, darkest corners of the government. So I would not be surprised by that. Let's see. Samantha saw Disclosure Day. What did you guys think of it? Samantha said, how do you distinguish a lens flare versus an orb?
Well, how I distinguish it, and I think probably so many of us who have iPhones or just cell phones in general, when you take a photograph and it's just the way the sun hits, even before you take the photograph, you can see that little green dot, right? And then you take a picture. So many times before I really understood what orbs were, I thought, oh, that's an orb, this little green dot. Well, it's a lens flare, it's a sun flare, it's not an actual orb. That green dot. So I will say, oh, perfect, there you go.
So, well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's one right there.
Yes.
I have all these pictures, and there's one in this picture. It's the sun, because I take a lot of pictures of the sun. It's the reflection, because the lenses on these phones are multi-layered, and that's why that happens.
So that's how I distinguish, right?
Yes. A lot of times, yeah, you got to use your scientific mind first, because you don't want to really think every single circle you see in a picture is an orb. If you want to believe that, that's okay, but also be discerning about it. All of this kind of mediumship, orbs, ghosts, spirits, you have to use your critical thinking mind and not jump the gun every single time you see an orb. There, like Kathy's video that she was talking about, it came up from the bottom and to the camera where there was no movement in the room, nothing happening in the room. That's a sign that was an unusual circumstance, probably not physics, probably a spirit of some kind, right?
Well, and it was the exact area where the dog would sleep that it came from. He slept on the couch, and it just came right from that area right to the camera.
And the other thing I was going to say, and it just disappeared straight from my mind as soon as it came in. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is there are spirits around us all the time.
Right.
Like when we say, there's this big fight between Savannah and St. Augustine. What's the most haunted town in the world? Every town is haunted. There are spirits everywhere. Not only are there spirits of people who lived on Earth in the area where you are, there are other dimensions, that there are sentient beings, that they live in other dimensions, other galaxies, other universes. that are intertwined with ours. So maybe the orb we're seeing isn't the spirit of our loved one. It might be a dinosaur from 200 million years ago, right? If they had souls, maybe they did. I don't know. Can't imagine why they wouldn't. So understand it's not always going to be your direct loved one. Think about the feeling you feel when you see it.
Right? Yeah.
Just like you said about the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Julie. Let's see. Lots of comments. I'm really far behind. Mystic Lily said makes sense. I think I'm starting my development. Very good. You can email either one of us with questions about that. Dawn said the orbs were seen during the day. Okay, good,
Oh,
good,
that's
good.
really, yeah, that's really cool. Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. What color were they? If you already said it, I'm sorry.
I think she said what?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Amy. Donna said hello, class. Hello. Trent is here. Hello, Trent. Finally, I know about your experiences with orbs.
Mm-hmm.
Tuning in a little bit late, but I'm really glad because you know how much I have a lot of experience with orbs.
Yeah.
Yes, Trent has sent me so many videos and images of the orb experiences she's had where she can call them on cue and they will come to her. That's a really important way to test if they're real. If you're videotaping and you say, okay, so and so, show yourself, and then it appears, just make sure the fans aren't on because there's dust everywhere. Trent, thank you for going over to YouTube. Shannon said, I keep seeing a small rainbow in the same spot in the evening in the sky. Not a whole rainbow and not every evening, but a light. Why? A lot. Why is this? I'm going science, girl. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. When the sun is setting in the west, if there's any, it's that time of year where there's a lot of moisture in the air. Any moisture at a certain angle to the sun on the opposite side of the sky, you will see a partial or full rainbow. So I'm sorry, that's just a rainbow. But if you're asking for a rainbow sign and you see the rainbow sign, that's a rainbow. I do not think it's a portal. No, I do not.
That's what is my next question. What do you think about portals? I guess that actually we could make that a whole nother topic.
Yes. We could talk about, do you have the list from last week still?
I do. I'll add it.
Add portals.
Yeah.
Jane posted a link to something. I don't know what that is.
I wonder if it's an orb photo or something.
I'm not clicking it, girl. I don't
Dave,
want
just let us know if that's a picture or something.
Or you got hacked.
Yeah.
Samantha said, thank you. I used to love taking purposeful lens flare photos. And when I heard about the orbs, I was confused, thinking they were just lens flares. So you see them when light is not obviously bouncing off the lens. Sylvia, hi Sylvia, said, I have seen some in my den through my pet camera monitor when I look at it after I go to my room. I differentiate them from dust as they tend to be bigger and denser in white color and move in a direction rather than just looking around. That's
beautiful.
That's very good.
So right, that she can tell the difference between what's purposeful and what's not. And especially if you ask, let me see you, right? Show yourself to me. Right.
Trent just made a really good point I had not thought of. She said, sometimes I think having a fan is actually a good idea because the orb trajectory isn't affected by air currents. So if the fan is on, it blows the dust away. Orbs will have a specific trajectory. Good point. That's a good point. That's science right there. So yeah, just in all of these subjects with anything paranormal or psychic or witch doctory, just think, does this make sense? Does this feel good in my heart? Does this, make me feel icky, right? Just think about whatever experience you're having. If you're seeing a medium, a psychic, a witch doctor, an orb, an alien, a UFO, just think, does this make sense? Does this feel good or does this feel bad? And does this feel weird?
So here's something too. When we've had this happen a couple times, and I know there's at least Sylvia's here. There might be a couple others. When we would do our spirit exchange and even when we do our mediumship in general, we do it on Zoom because somebody asked about seeing with the naked eye. Mm-hmm. So we're doing our sessions on Zoom, whether it's a gallery or one-on-one. There have been several instances where somebody's like, there's an orb behind you. Mm-hmm. We can see an orb behind you. Mm-hmm. So when you ask about, does anyone else see them with the naked eye? We've had that happen when we've been in groups or doing sessions when you could see orbs behind the person. So yes, you could see them with the naked eye. I think that was our last spirit exchange that we did, which our spirit exchange was a gallery event that MB was talking, and everybody in the chat is like, do you see the orbs behind you? Like, there's just like orbs going back and forth behind her in a specific movement. That was, yeah, Trent was there too. Yeah.
I had a one-on-one reading one day, and I didn't even notice until towards the end there was, and it wasn't a round orb, it was a different shape, but it was going back and forth over my client, and I noticed it later, but when we went back and watched the video, it had happened several times.
Yeah.
And it wasn't round, it was kind of like a messy rectangle, I'll say. So it wasn't exactly round, but yeah, you can see them with your naked eye. If you can see, a ghost, which is just an apparition, it's not much different than seeing an orb. So, yes, you can see them with the naked eye for sure. Dawn said they were bright and kind of clear with a rainbow in them. Like,
ooh, yeah.
Interesting.
So the one that I sent Nicole, if you look at it, like if you slow the video down and you just look at it and enlarge it, it looks like what she's saying. It looks like a swirling ball of like opalescent light.
You want me to bring it up on my computer on the screen?
Sure. I mean, otherwise we have some other.
Oh, I can't. It's not coming up on my laptop. Oh. Never mind. I could send it there if you want me to. Dust can 100. Trent said dust can 100% imitate orbs. Yes. Try an experiment and shake a tissue or shake an old towel while you're filming. Flash on, and you'll see exactly how closely they resemble each other, and you'll be able to see how they travel.
Right.
Mystic Lily said, could the orbs be thought of in the form of energy? Yeah, they are energy. It's exactly what they are. If it's a true orb, it's my opinion, Kathy, you can disagree with me if you want. If it's a true orb, it's a manifestation of someone's spirit or soul showing themselves to you. Yeah. And some people can tune into this all the time. And some people, it just happens randomly just because they're not, their brain isn't preoccupied with something. If you just have to be in a certain state of mind, or the spirit just so badly wants to show themselves that they'll just like use all the energy they can to get through.
And how fun for spirit to show themselves that way, right? Can you imagine? I mean, we love to have fun experimenting. So why wouldn't spirit love to have fun experimenting and showing themselves? And yes, balls of energy. And in fact, one of my spirit guides, I mean, that is what my spirit guide is a rotating ball of blue energy. And of course, like you said, We're all made of energy.
Yep.
And you could go more into the science of it. I love listening to you when you talk about the science of it, but yeah.
Well, just what I said earlier, our soul is energy. Our spirit is energy. It's literally called the consciousness
Mhm.
issue in science is called the big problem. That is literally the title of it. Neuroscientists, biologists, brain scientists, they cannot find where consciousness resides
Mhm.
because it doesn't
It
reside.
doesn't reside.
Right. It's non-local, and so that energy, when our body no longer functions, it just is released from your body because
Mhm.
it's doesn't stay stuck in there.
Your
It's not
consciousness is not your brain. It's
it's a separate
yeah,
it's an
entity.
orb. It's an orb
Yeah,
of energy.
yeah,
Right. It's a separate entity. It's
yeah.
like a good parasite, a parasite you want to have, because it keeps us the loving and peaceful part of us. Trent said they can appear like squiggly lines too.
Oh,
I'm sure. I'm sure. Dawn said, "Is it hard for spirit to show themselves as orbs?"
well, like anything, especially even with mediumship, with this is what I would right. I don't know 100%, but even with mediumship, and just like I kind of said, how fun to experiment, how fun for them to do all these things to connect with us, to show and to prove that they're still in exist, like right, their consciousness exists beyond this physical body. So it requires energy, right? It requires energy to connect um, through mediumship. It requires energy to create orbs for us to see. It requires energy. It probably requires practice too, don't you think? Like
Mhm.
just like us as humans tuning in and fine tuning, and so maybe they practice. I don't know. What do you think? I
I
think.
think, of course, it requires energy. I definitely
Mhm.
agree with that. And you have to understand, humans only see a tiny portion of the whole electromagnetic spectrum. And so maybe, so we go from gamma rays all the way through to radio waves and visible light's the tiniest portion. And that's what we see with our human eyes. Maybe these spirits exist very clearly in the microwave spectrum or
Yes.
the gamma ray spectrum, and we just can't see it like some animals can see in the infrared, or soldiers get those infrared goggles. Maybe there's a spectrum we're not aware of or we haven't checked yet, that these orbs exist and these spirits exist that we just can't see with our eyes,
Mhm.
but animals can,
Mhm.
because they see more of the spectrum, because dogs, cats, night hunters, right?
Yes.
So they can see in a past the visible light spectrum. So yeah, it takes energy. I don't know if I would say it's hard. I would say it takes practice and work.
Mhm. And I think, right, how fun to connect like that. I just feel like our loved ones in spirit love to connect with us and love to show us that there's more to this physicalness
Mhm.
than just this 3D existence.
Exactly. And Trent's question her comment here kind of brings everything we're talking to tonight together perfectly with a bow on it. When people ask what the colors of the orbs represent and people answer with confidence or show them a
Mhm.
chart, I kind of just shake my head, because seriously, how can anyone truly know? We can't. And this brings us to the original reason we started talking on Fridays: red flags. Because, like we've both said throughout the past few weeks, no person knows any of this stuff 100%. And if they claim it, that's a big red flag. You have to be able to put your ego aside in any of this work and say, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if a blue orb represents this or a yellow orb represents that. If 1111 means new beginnings,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know, it might mean, you're gonna win the lottery. I don't know. It's gonna be
It
different.
just might mean that your loved one's stepping forward and saying hello when you see that number, right?
Right.
That's not going to mean the same thing for each and every one of us because we're all different and we're all on different paths, right?
And we all have a different life experience. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said earlier, everyone's life experience is different. That's why every medium is different, because
Yeah.
we all have a different life experience. And so we bring that with us into our mediumship. Hopefully, your medium has healed to a certain degree before they start giving readings. But anyway, that's another red flag moment for another day.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share, Kathy, before we wrap up?
Do you just want to talk about some things that we have coming up?
Sure.
So this was a great evening. Thank you. Everybody had such wonderful questions. I loved
Wonderful.
it. And of course, I always learn things from you, Nicole. I love listening to your. You just have so much knowledge that I don't have, and I love that. I love,
Well,
I love. I always love learning, and it makes it easy when you just break it down into simple terms. So I just thank you for that. And of course, I thank you for being a wonderful medium and friend. So thank you for that. I do want to talk about a couple things I have coming up. This Sunday, actually, in 2 days, I'm doing a mediumship gallery, 11 o'clock Pacific time, with another medium from Helping Parents Heal. Her name is Candace Purchase, and she's in South Africa. So I'm really excited to work with her and do this collaboration. It's a free event, so everyone is welcome. You can find all that information on my Facebook. And then on July 21st, I'll be doing a mediumship gallery for Helping Parents Heal. And you can find that information on the Helping Parents Heal website or their Facebook page. I am booked through July, and I am planning on taking off the month of August. But if you want to get on my waiting list, you can always email me. And that's mediumkathy@gmail.com. Thank you.
you are welcome. And thank you for the wonderful compliment. And I learned so much about mediumship from you because you were in development before I was. And so I knew nothing, like zero. And I've learned so much from you over the years, and your compassion and your delivery is very inspiring. And I always aim to be more like Kathy when I do my readings. And I'm not kidding at all. So I have very limited availability over the next few weeks because of my other science jobs. I am doing Helping Parents Heal on July 16th, a gallery. You can find that on their Facebook page. I think they don't advertise it till the day of or the day before or something like that. And I have a coupon code for the readings I do have available, summer 2026, for 20% off all my services. And yeah, I'll be here, and I don't even know what else I have. I don't know. Science stuff I'm doing. Mars. I'm going to Mars in the next couple of weeks. So not
Just
really.
just make sure to follow us on the socials to keep updated. Things may change, things pop up. If we have, free time or free things, you just make sure you're following. Because I know you do some free card pulls and stuff sporadically. Sometimes I can fit in like a ask me anything, so just make sure you're following to keep up with the latest. And yeah.
Yay. All right, everybody. Have a safe 4th of July. I think are we going to be live next week?
That's 4th of July, right?
It's the 3rd, I think.
Yeah, so probably not.
Okay, so the week after we'll be live.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we'll see you later. Sending love, peace, and healing to everyone. Have a safe holiday and a great weekend. Bye.
Take care.